Hello book lovers, welcome to Uncommon Reader. I'm Daniela, and yesterday I was debating what to share on the channel this week. I have a couple of vlogs from Italy still to show you. I also have to talk to you about the rest of my January reads, but then Pat of Book Chat with Pat came to the rescue, as today I was just watching a book tag, a new book tag, just in time for Valentine's Day, and she tagged me on Valentine's Day book tag created by Joe Reads Books. And there are only 6 questions, so it should be a fairly brief tag, but you know, we might dwell in talking a little bit about the books that I've chosen for these prompts. So let's get started. And I hope you're not too annoyed by the noise of my fridge because I'm close to the kitchen today. So hopefully you can hear me just as well. The first prompt is favorite couple ever. You want to have their relationship. Okay. You know, I loved Pat's answers in her video, and I was just commenting on her video that she just pulled out all the aces, and I had to come up with different books, you know, just to make it a little different, but I couldn't find anything better for this prompt than Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. And I mean, is there anything more to say about this book? I think even rocks know about this book. There's a wonderful dialogue exchange among these two characters, and the energy and the tension that we feel when the two are together in the same room. It just so filled with emotion, and of course I can't think of a better couple for this question. So Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy will be. And let's move to prompt number 2, relationships that never happened. You wanted them to get together, but they never did. So for this prompt, I thought about a book that was made into a movie, and it is Maurice by Edgar Morgan Forster. So Maurice is a young university student who falls in love with his classmate Clive, and in the movie he's played by adorable Hugh Grant, but their relationship it's merely platonic, so nothing really happens physically between the two of them, but this very complicated relationship will also lead Maurice to a deeper awareness of his sexual orientations. It was a very delicate story, and I also think that they did a good job with the movie as well. Third prompt, worst relationship. A couple you wanted to break up because the character was awful, deceitful, abusive, etc., etc. So I was actually very lean into talking about Heathcliff of Wuthering Heights that Pat herself chose for this prompt. I actually thought, looking through my Goodreads list of books I've read, and this book will make the perfect answer. It's The Bad Girl by Mario Vargas Llosa, who is a Peruvian author. He was born in 1936, and Mario Vargas Llosa is one of the most significant authors coming out from South America in the last 50 years. So The Bad Girl is a very entertaining story about this impossible love story between Ricardo, who is from Lima, and he meets Lily, or she was called Lily at that time, and throughout the book she will change names a few times. Yeah, it's complicated. And they meet as teenagers, and Ricardo falls in love with her. but then she disappears. He pursues another passion in his life, which was, and I agree profoundly, the project of moving to Paris. So his career takes him to Paris as he becomes an interpreter. And so he moves to Paris, and then he travels all over the world, mostly in Europe, for his job. And one day, Lily shows up in Paris. So Lily is as volatile as she was in her teens. Her only project in life is to make money. So she goes after rich men, but eventually still, reaches out to Riccardo, and she flirts with him, taking advantage of him in any possible way. But she is ruthless. She doesn't care that she will break his heart every time she leaves. So it is very disturbing as a reader to see Riccardo fall each time for this bad girls games, but it really is a very entertaining book. It's one of those books with excellent writing, and also when Riccardo meets different types of people, because we will follow his life mostly, each encounter he has is a very deep, enriching character in the story, and it's not distractive, which sometimes I have issues with when I don't feel the characters that are coming and going within the book add anything to the story. But in this case, I had a very positive first time reading this author, and I look forward to read more from him. Fourth prompt, your favorite love triangle. Okay, let's stay in South America with Gabriel Garcia Marquez and his love in the time of cholera. It's the story of Florentino and Firmina. They fall in love as young adults, and they really love each other madly, but we don't understand why at a certain point Firmina decides to get married with a rich doctor, leaving Florentino heartbroken. Although he is going to have a lot of affairs in his life. We're talking by the hundreds, okay? There's a specific number that I don't want to share, so you will have to probably read the book if you want to find out. So I think that it's an interesting triangle, because despite his many affairs, Florentino will be still devoted to Firmina in his heart. Very beautiful story, and I think it's my favorite Garcia Marquez book. Prompt number 5, your favorite tragic love story, like a Romeo and Juliet, but no spoilers, a couple whose relationship was cut tragically short. Well, that's just a spoiler right there, right? Isn't it? So, I thought about 2 books. The first book that came to mind, The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. I'm not sure I pronounced her last name correctly, but she's an author I really love. And I would love to read more from her, although I think it's been quite some time she has published a book. Briefly, it's the story of Henry and Claire, who live a very complicated relationship because he time travels. So it's very weird to see them come together when in different times, when Claire is a child or when she's older, and pretty much Henry looks the same. So it's a very compelling and intriguing story. Sometimes also a bit difficult to follow because it jumps from a decade to another, but definitely very unique. The second book I thought was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and it's a retelling of Achilles' story, and the story is narrated by his friend and lover Patroclus, and so it explores their friendship and love quite deeply in the beautiful language that Madeline Miller accustomed us to. Prompt number 6 and last one, what book would you choose to be your Valentine? Okay, so for me, this is my ultimate favorite love story, and it's Persuasion by Jane Austen. I connect with this story. I guess that's because of my personal age right now. So this is a story of second chances. And the protagonists are Anne and Captain Frederick Wentworth. And she has refused to marry him as a young woman due to pressure from her family. And then he sets off, as boat captain, and he's going to be involved in war and battles, and he comes finally back, and they sort of re-meet, and again, as with Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, we have this tension when the two characters are in the same room, and we really feel that there is an interest that is rekindling, but both of them are very shy and very scared. I think the way they will come back together is written beautifully, but it really gives you a sense of anticipation that keeps I think the momentum grow in this fabulous book, but it's also Jane Austen's last novel she will write before dying at only 41 years old. The 7th prompt is tag others, and I'm not sure there will be enough time, as we're only 2-3 days away from Valentine's Day. But if you're watching and you'd like to reproduce this tag, you're so very welcome to do so. And I might tag a couple of friends too. We'll see. You will definitely find it in the info box. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video and for supporting my channel. I'll see you soon here on Uncamo Reader. Take care and happy reading. Ciao.